That's the first time I actually used that to get everybody's attention. That's pretty good. Well, welcome everyone. I would like to call the regular meeting of the Temple City City Council to order. If Madam Clerk, if we could have roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Chen.
Here.
Councilmember Mann.
Here.
Councilmember Sternquist.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Yu.
Here.
Mayor Chavez.
Here. Thank you. We will now begin with our invocation. We're happy to have Jerry Jambazian, of course, from Wonder Cleaners and Draperies. Do we need to give your address? Everybody knows where you are, don't they? 9136 Las Tunas Drive. I can't miss it. Who will be providing tonight's invocation. Just a reminder, after the invocation tonight, if you'll remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand. Jerry, it's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Let's come before our God tonight. Dear Heavenly Father, once again we come before you tonight asking for your blessing upon every part of this City Council meeting tonight. Thank you for dedicated council members who make important decisions that benefit the citizens of Temple City. Thank you to the Parks and Recreation Department for another successful classic car show and fall festival that was enjoyed by over 1,000 attendees. Father, thank you for our 6 Australian student ambassadors visiting Temple City from the Hawkesbury, Australia. I pray that this would be a memorable experience for them as well as for us. Lord, we are saddened by the recent events around the world, especially the Middle East with escalation of wars. Lord, more than anything tonight, I pray for world peace. I pray that it might not just be a saying, but that it would be on our lips constantly. And Father, we continue to hold up the first responders and people that help us in time of need. Protect our deputies and firefighters who face danger daily on our behalf. We ask this all in your name and for your glory. Amen.
Amen. Okay, if you'll all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was just thinking we should do the Australian pledge, huh? Anybody want to lead us in that? You don't have one. Okay, well, I guess you can't do one. I don't remember.
What are you thinking, Tom?
I don't know. I know you have a song, though, right? You want to sing the song, or no? You don't have to. All right. All right. We'll put you on the spot. Okay. All righty. So, as you can tell, we're going a little international tonight. First order of business on our ceremonial matters is the introduction of our Australian Sister City Exchange students, okay? Before they come up and introduce themselves, however, I just want to say a few things. Of course, as most of you know, we do this every year, and our students were over in Australia, what was it, 2 months ago now, I think, wasn't it? July. And now, of course, it's turn for their students to come here to the United States and spend some time with our families here. And so they've been here now a little over a week, I believe. Yeah, a little over a week. And they're going to be here through the 19th, I believe, of October. So they've been very busy. I know that because I was very busy yesterday. I had the pleasure of hosting them yesterday, and we had a great time, or at least I thought I had a good time. We went all over the place. We kind of took a tour of Temple City, Pasadena, Rosemead. First order of business was, of course, a Halloween store you have to go to, right? Which is kind of interesting. What's the name of that store we went to yesterday? I can't remember, the grocery store. Anybody remember? Erewhon. That was interesting. Yeah, we went to Erewhon on Lake. Of course, none of us spent any money there because it's too expensive, but it was nice. Of course, had to go into, what was the store we went into next? TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx, got to go to TJ Maxx, right? Over to Pasadena, of course, to see their City Hall, which is a little different from Temple City City Hall, but a little bigger, but it was nice. Norton Simon Museum, which is fun. We had a good time there. So, of course, the highlight of the evening was our hour we spent at the Walmart Superstore, right? Of all places, okay, which I was actually impressed. I have never been there myself, and it is a big store in Rosemead. So it was fun. Of course, we went to the boat, which is always nice. So we had a good day. I had a good time, and I really appreciate it. One of the things that you should know about these students that I've noticed is they are very respectful. I think they're very kind. And of course, above all, they're very well-mannered. Now, your parents probably aren't going to believe any of that, right? But if I were to tell them, if I were to meet your parents, I would tell them the same thing. And they should be very proud of all of you. And of course, a big shout out to our students who are hosting them. I know tonight we have Kyle and we have Livia here with us tonight. And of course, Krista and Pearl, who are other two ambassadors that went to Australia, are also hosting the students. And so I know they're having a great time. They've got a chance to go to a high school, and I know they've got a lot of different things. Gone to the beach, I believe, one night. So kind of seeing a little bit of everything. And so if you guys have any questions, we can get into that. So Steve or Nancy, are you guys going to want to come up? Steve? So Steve Terry, of course, from our Sister City program is going to come up and say a few words, I think, and then introduce or have the students introduce themselves.
Well, again, it's my pleasure and honor to be up here to thank the City Council for your support over the years. This is the first year back. You know, we didn't do anything during COVID, and so it was sort of a little bit like reinventing the wheel. You know, we started to put things together in the itinerary, and it's like, what the heck did we do 5 years ago? You know, it's like, oh, okay. Some of the things were easy, but you know, whatever. I would like to give a special thanks to Tom for spending the afternoon with the kids yesterday. I don't know who had more fun, the kids or him. I don't know. But I think Tess probably was disappointed in not being able to go.
No, she couldn't go with us, unfortunately.
And also a special thanks to Brian Cook. A week ago today, he spent a good chunk of time giving the kids a tour of City Hall. And they got to actually, I don't know whether I should tell them this, but they actually got to sit where you guys are sitting now.
I heard
they
Finn,
didn't mess with
I heard Finn was up here
anything.
with this, right? All right, good.
But thank you, Brian. That was very nice. Can I have the 6 Aussie kids come on up? What I'm going to do is I'm going to let them introduce themselves and say a few words.
So just so we know, once I think they're going to introduce themselves, maybe we can have the opportunity if any of the council members want to ask questions.
Absolutely.
So just stay up there, and then I know Jerry's going to want to get a photo of everyone together.
Okay. All
And
right.
I think you have a presentation by our students as well, don't you?
Yes.
Do you want to do that after they do the introductions and stuff?
Sure.
Or- Okay. All right. Go ahead, Finn.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for this opportunity of being here tonight. It's good to be here with such good people in the crowd, and so, yeah, pleasure to be in the City Hall. One thing I was thinking about, just sitting there, coming all this way across the Pacific, I believe, with a group of people I'm not really close with. It's kind of scary, and it's pretty daunting when you don't have anyone to fall back on. And I'd just like to say thank you, especially to the association and the families for scooping us up and taking us into their homes and welcoming us as their own, especially Carl's family, with all the food and the chicken wings for dinner tonight. It was really good. But yeah, especially yesterday as well. Walmart, I got a coffee maker. I don't know why, but yeah, it was really good.
Comes all the way from Australia to buy a coffee maker at Walmart. Now that's a story you're going to have to tell your grandchildren one of these days.
I think it would be a little scary to come with how many women?
5.
5 females and you. Wow, scary and probably a little bit of fun too, right?
Yeah, well. But yeah, I'd just like to say thank you, and I'm hoping to have a lot of fun over these next couple of weeks, and yeah,
Good.
the
Thank
efforts are
you.
appreciated, so thank you.
Thank you. We're going to clap.
My name is Lily, and I'm really excited to be here, just like everyone else is. A bit nervous, mostly excited. Being here, I'll tell you the one thing I've noticed And you guys are probably going to say you notice this about me, but it's your guys' accents. we think the way you say roof is really funny. Because it sounds like you're a dog. Like you go like roof, which kind of sounds like a bark. And so we think that's funny. But you guys probably think that we have accents. But I don't hear it personally. But yeah, so very excited to be here. Great first week. So hopefully the next 3 will be as good as this first week.
Good. So just want to share real quick, Lily is actually the grandchild of Peter and Tina Talek, who were here a little while ago with Yvonne and Eddie Whalen.
I remember.
Yeah, they've been involved in their Sister City program for a long time, so obviously it's gone down through the ages, so we're happy to have her here as well. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Megan, and I'd first like to start by thanking you for welcoming into your city, and I'd like to thank the committee for all their time and volunteering to chaperone us to our trips. It's amazing. So far, I really enjoyed exploring all your fast food and your Targets and your Walmarts and experiencing American high school. I love it here, and I would like to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to come explore your home. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Ava, I'm 16, and like everyone else here, I'm really excited to be here, and I'm so grateful to the committee for making this program possible. I think it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I just don't think I could get this kind of experience by going on a holiday here, especially with the high school and all the museum tours. And even though they're not here tonight, I want to thank the Shea family for taking me in, and Steve and Nancy and all the other volunteers for taking us on the excursions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, oh my goodness. Hi everyone, I am Chloe. I'm going to say something that I'm most excited for. I'm really excited for Universal tomorrow. And Finn's going to judge me for this, but I'm really excited for Wingstop. But I just want to, thank everyone that's kind of endorsing this and allowing this to be possible, because it is such a good experience. And I'm very blessed to have the host family that I have, because they're welcoming me so much, and I could have never expected that. But yeah, I think the program is amazing, and I love everything it's doing. Thank you.
Thank you. So I have noticed, though, that they take particular note of our fast food restaurants. Tell them what Burger King is called over in Australia.
Hungry Jacks.
Hungry Jacks.
Hungry Jacks.
Yes, Hungry Jacks. All right, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Lauren, and everyone's kind of said everything that I was going to say. Pleasure's going last. But I just wanted to say that I feel so incredibly lucky to be here, because it's absolutely insane. It's been such a jam-packed week, such an exhausting week, but it's been a really rewarding week. I wanted to shout out Livia and her mum, even though she's not here today, but Livia is, because she's taken in not only one of us, but 3 of us, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, I've had so much fun, and I'm also very excited for Universal. But yeah, thank you for everything you guys have done to make this program possible. And thank you to Steve and Nancy for taking us everywhere, and for Tom for taking us out yesterday, because it was really fun.
Thank you. Yeah, I did want to mention that Livia's family, Livia's here tonight, is actually hosting 3 of our students. This year, unfortunately, we were only able to send 4 students over there, so we had to figure out what we're going to do with the other 2 that are extra. And of course, Livia's mom stepped up graciously and agreed to take 3, not 1. I mean, 1 is a lot, but 3. It's like a slumber party every night there, though, I think, probably. Not too much sleep going on, probably.
Livia's mom became my hero, because
Yes.
she saved my bacon on that part.
She has done that.
I would also like to embarrass Lauren again, because she turned 17 last Monday.
All
So she
right.
had a birthday while she was here.
Well, I think we should sing happy birthday, a U.S. happy birthday to her. How's that? Ready?
You want to start it,
1,
Finn?
ready?
You can
No,
sing.
1,
You can sing
2,
both.
3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lauren. Happy birthday to you. All right. What better way to spend your birthday but in Temple City, right?
Yeah,
so I can't
right.
think of a better way to do it. So.
And
Well, good.
Kyle, Livia, you want to come on up?
Okay. So of course, Kyle and Livia had the opportunity to go to Australia this year, and I know they have shared before some of their experiences with us, and so.
And
go ahead.
Krista and Pearl would like to be here, but Krista was playing volleyball tonight. She's on the varsity team at Temple City, and they were somewhere. Oh, they were Blair tonight. And Pearl is currently attending classes at PCC, so she had a class tonight. So anyway.
And of course, but we do have Christy here, who is, where's Christy? Over
Oh, yeah.
there.
Hi,
She got
Christy.
done with- Christy, of course, if you remember, also went to Australia a few years ago, and so she's certainly familiar with all of this stuff. So thank you for bringing them over here. You make us feel old now because you weren't driving then. Now you're driving. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Livia. From the bottom of my heart, I would like to express my gratitude for allowing this program to continue running because it has made such a huge impact on not only my life, but I know the lives of all of us around us. The girls that I'm hosting have had the chance to meet my grandma, and all she could do is rave about how excited she was to meet them, to hear stories about them, and I'm just so thankful for the opportunity to get over to fly to Australia with Temple City, my favorite city, not that I'm biased, and spend a few weeks with a host family. While I was in Australia, I really learned and got to bring back more of the ideals that community should be really reinforced and family time is always a need, a necessity. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, hello, I'm Kyle, and Livia pretty much mentioned everything. I'm also really blessed and just thankful for this program that continued. I remember being at elementary school at Emperor with Livia, Krista, Pearl, and we had the Australians come in. I've always wanted to go, and just being part of this now and being my last year of high school, it's really cool to be part of something that I've seen, when I was a kid and going now. And I was even able to write my college essays on my experience there. So definitely really cool experience, and just thank you all for continuing to allow this program to happen.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you for being great ambassadors and representatives, not only Temple City, but the United States. So good job. And thank you guys for being great ambassadors and representatives for Australia. We've had, as Steve mentioned, this program has not, took a little bit of a hiatus. We're very happy that it's back, and a lot of strong ties now between the Hawkesbury and Temple City. So I think we have some little
so
treats
much.
for everyone.
Our
So
Thank you.
thank you. Does Brian get one? All right, just want to make sure we have enough.
Thank you so much, Olivia. Thank you, Kyle.
Sorry, Greg, I guess attorneys, don't get one. I'll share mine with you, how's that? Well, thank you for the gift. All right, so I think now, Jerry, we're ready for some photos, and we get these guys back home and get their homework done and all the stuff they need to do. All right, so, oh, there you go. All right, before we do that, we have some bags for you guys also. So why don't we all come on up here and these are some of our Live Oak Park memorial bags. So we have one for each of you. Another bag. Okay. All right, so Brian doesn't need the phone. All right, so you guys sit in the front up here. Shorter ones in the front, taller ones. Sam, you can sit next to me if you'd like. Okay. Just make sure Jerry can see your face. All right. How's that, Jerry? Nancy and Steve, come on. Okay, ready? Yeah. All right, here we go. You take a quick look. That's perfect. Now, I know that, wait, don't hold it.
Mayor Chavez alluded to the Aussie chant. We had to have that. All right, so Nancy always really good at this. Come on, Nancy.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Aussie, oi, Aussie. Oi, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
All right.
That was
Good
good.
job. All right, we'll see you later. Thank you. Thank you for the Tim Tams. Okay. All right. Well, it's kind of a tough act to follow, gentlemen, and ladies, but we'll do our best. So now we have an update from our San Gabriel Valley Council of Government. We have with us tonight Martin Medrano, who is the Manager of Community Relations, who's going to provide us with an update. So, Mr. Medrano, it's all yours. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for that kind introduction. Good evening. Again, as the mayor said, my name is Martin Medrano, and I am the Community Relations Manager with the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments. Temple City is one of the COG's valued members, and we appreciate your partnership in the work we do for the people we serve in the San Gabriel Valley. And I'm here tonight to share a bit of information about our agency, our ongoing projects, accomplishments, and plans for the future. Next slide, please. Thank you. A fundamental element contributing to the COG's success is our leadership. With this in mind, I would like to briefly acknowledge the dedicated individuals and their respective roles on our executive committee. We have President Tim Hepburn, who is the mayor of Verne, Ed Reese, who serves as our first vice president, who is from the city, a council member from the city of Claremont. April Verlato is our second vice president from the city of Arcadia, and Corey Moss rounds us off as our third vice president from the city of Industry. Their exemplary leadership is instrumental in steering our initiatives towards achieving success, and without their vision, we wouldn't be able to accomplish the things we have the chance to do. Next slide. In our role at the COG, we tackle a variety of pressing challenges, from homelessness to transportation, all crucial to the well-being of our member cities and their residents. Our initiatives are designed to provide substantial regional support, helping to address these critical issues effectively. I'll provide an overview of our active programs, emphasizing our commitment to sustainability and environmental stewardship. One key initiative is our Fire Prep SGB program, which is vital for enhancing wildfire preparedness. This program not only educates, but actively engages our communities in proactive measures to safeguard against wildfires. Additionally, we're committed to promoting energy efficiency. We assist residents and cities alike in securing rebates for energy upgrades, which not only improve sustainability, but also offer other financial benefits. Furthermore, our efforts extend to helping cities comply with stringent stormwater regulations, ensuring we meet environmental standards and contribute to the overall health of our ecosystem. Through these programs, we are making tangible progress in creating safer, cleaner, and more sustainable environments for all our residents, and I think particularly with our Fire Prep SGB program and the recent nature of our fires and homes and insurance rates that go along with it, it's been a really nice way to kind of help out and shepherd along with that. So, next slide. Turning our attention to transportation, I'm excited to discuss both ongoing and new initiatives that are propelling us toward enhanced mobility, connectivity, and safety across the region. A key example of this is our 5760 Confluence project, which targets two of the region's busiest highways, where the 57 and 60 freeway both meet. The 2-mile-long artery passes through the cities of Diamond Bar and Industry and carry a daily traffic volume of approximately 350,000 vehicles. When completed, this project will alleviate congestion, minimize accident rates, and transform folks' driving experience into something more efficient and hopefully a bit more enjoyable. And if any of you have been through that interchange, you can appreciate how stressful it can be as a commuter.
I can remember when the 57 freeway was first put in, and it was great because it was like empty. Not anymore.
I wish I could tell you that I remember that too.
Yeah, well, I'm a little older than you are, but it was nice. But I'll have to agree. my stepmom used to live right there where those two come together. And it was a challenge getting through there sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's now getting a little bit better now.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, getting a little bit better, and that's set to be done. We broke ground last summer, and that's set to be done in 2028.
Great.
So we're excited about that. In addition to that, we manage Measure M sub-regional program, commonly referred to as MSP, which plays a critical role in funding transportation improvements as well. It's important to note the significant impact of these funds right here in Temple City, as you are the recipients of a $1.9 million joint award grant with the County of Los Angeles for the Eaton Canyon Wash Bike Trail. And this project not only enhances local infrastructure, but also contributes to our broader goals of promoting sustainable transportation options. In addition to these successes, we've also initiated construction on 2 critical grade separation projects under our Alameda Corridor East program. The first of which was in the city of Montebello, the Montebello Road Grade Separation Project, where we broke ground this summer. And the second was Turnbull Canyon Road Grade Separation Project, which is right on the border of Hacienda Heights in the City of Industry. Those are our final 2 grade separation projects of the ACE program, and we're excited that so far they've been going well. We've had wonderful partnerships with our local cities in those areas, and we're looking forward to having those wrapped up on time as well. Next slide. So building on the overview of some of the impactful programs we just discussed, we launched 3 sub-regional food recovery hubs, which are crucial in our fight against food insecurity in the San Gabriel Valley. Our commitment to addressing homelessness and housing challenges remains strong. Last year alone, we engaged with 1,900 vulnerable residents, successfully connecting 88 clients to permanent housing solutions. Furthermore, we facilitated 242 housing units and created 16 new opportunities for affordable home ownership, helping to stabilize families and individuals in need. The COG is committed to uplifting the quality of life throughout the San Gabriel Valley by finding common sense solutions with our regional partners. We work with our member cities and local elected officials to provide critical funding and programming to address these needs. And just on a personal note, these are kind of the most enjoyable events to be a part of as a staffer for the COG. Next slide. Neighbors in need. We also focused on supporting our neighbors in need through programs like SGV Care, which is a alternative response program. Oh wait, SGV Care alternative response program? Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Alternative response program that supports our law enforcement and also helps address mental health crises with our police force. We launched that about 2 years ago. And we also have Village 143, and that picture actually is of some wonderful, a wonderful group of women from the Chinese American community that have donated all of these goods to our housing trust residents who are in need of paper towels, blankets, shoes, and things along those lines. We also have a workforce development program that supports our housing trust and some of our homeless programs, so folks kind of get a full spectrum of services that are using these, that are in these programs.
It looks like Councilmember Cacciati in the middle there, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
That is,
Yes,
yeah.
Michael.
He helps facilitate that, which is really awesome. Now, next slide, please. 2023-24 accomplishments. So, as I mentioned earlier, we broke ground on the Montebello Corridor, a great separation project, as well as the Turnbull Canyon. We opened 3 food recovery hubs, delivered over 1,900, supported over 1,900 vulnerable residents through various programs, and these accomplishments reflect our ongoing commitment to the community. Next slide. So, City of Temple City, sorry. Here's just a brief kind of overview of some of the programs we work with you on. Top of that is the MSP funding that was received this year of the $1.19 million. You guys participate and use our VMT model and tool, Go SGV, which is our electric bike program, sustainability, SGV Fresh, our water studies broadband, SoCal REN, which is an energy efficiency program, and in our homelessness and housing, you've participated in our Village 143 program and some of our city and homelessness programs. Next slide. Looking ahead to next year, I was here about a year ago, so it's nice to see that some of the things that we were talking about then has to manage to transpire, and because a lot of the hard work that goes on with the staff there. But looking ahead, and I'm sure this will be the same case next year, we're going to complete the SGV Broadband Strategic Plan and SGV Regional Community Wildfire Protection Plan, begin the implementation of the Jumpstart Bus Corridor improvements ahead of the 2028 Olympics, award $6 million in loan funds to support construction of 120 affordable units, use rapid housing development funds to permanently house 76 individuals and support 67 interim housing units in 3 cities. Next slide. Here's our policy committee wall of fame. These are all of the region's local council members who sit on our committees, executive committee, that really help drive what it is we do day to day as staff at the COG.
Wait, so I see a familiar name there. City manager steering, we have someone we know there?
Sure.
Mr. Cook, Brian Cook, of course, that sits on that. Great.
So we, again, we couldn't do the work we do without.
I'm appointed by the COG to the Transportation Committee,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm not on the.
On that core, okay. Yeah, I knew you were involved somehow.
Transportation meetings at the COG.
Yeah.
It's a little complicated.
Good. I see a lot of familiar names on that list. So.
I have a question.
Sure.
If you could go back to the slide before with the, begin implementation of Jumpstart Bus Corridor improvements ahead of 2028 Olympics. I haven't heard much from being on the COG meetings recently in regards to that. Are you working closely with Metro?
Oh, very.
On this?
Yes.
So this weekend I was past few days at a transportation APTA, which is American Transportation Association. And I went to the meeting on the Olympics and planning for bus usage at the Olympics. And Stephanie Wiggins, who is the CEO of Metro, did not have a lot of information on actually what is happening with buses and the amount of buses that they're going to need. They're going to need over about 2,000 buses initially. And it was interesting because there were probably about 30 of us from all different states, a lot from, the local cities around that the Olympics would affect. And no one seemed to have any answers for any of the questions about the BRT lanes or anything. So I'm wondering, what are you hearing in regards to how this is moving forward?
Well, I think for us right now, what we've been doing is just been working with Metro, but then developing our outreach strategy to coordinate efforts at the regional level to San Gabriel Valley. In terms of what have I been hearing about hard numbers about buses needed and estimates along those lines, that has, to my knowledge, has not been something that has been broached.
So are these meetings monthly? Are they every couple of months? Or
we have not started the outward meetings yet. Okay. Again, we're just getting started on that. We just wrapped up the transportation study that we did that was going on for the last 2 years. This is kind of the next step in that.
Okay.
So more information will be coming out along that because yes, 2028 is around the corner. Planning wise, this takes a lot of coordination and outreach with staff. And Ricky, feel free to step in.
Sure.
Councilman Sterkwitz, Ricky Choi with the Council of Governments as well. Just to provide you with some context with regards to what I understand Metro is doing, they're trying to implement a number of bus rapid transit corridors throughout the region. At least in the San Gabriel Valley, we're working in partnership with Metro to implement a series of jumpstart improvements that's part of the larger bus transit improvement corridor that we're trying to implement both east-west and north-south. If you recall, Metro had decided to proceed with the East Side Phase 2 corridor and decided to abandon the SR-60 alignment, instead extend the E-line, which is now the E-line, through Whittier.
And so, but with that, Supervisor Solis and then Director Fasana had facilitated a motion to keep the $635 million that won't be realized till 2035 in the San Gabriel Valley. We were tasked with implementing and coordinating a transit feasibility study, which we had completed earlier this year. And in so doing, we're going to be working in doing the planning to implement that in years' time. But with regards to the Jumpstart improvements, and specifically ahead of the 2020 Olympics, we're very fortunate that Metro had included a segment of our east-west alignment in their federal grant that was approved by the USDOT. There was a Reconnecting Communities grant that they were awarded a number of series of improvements throughout the county. A segment of it will be improvements along Valley Boulevard from the El Monte Station through City Industry and unincorporated LA County and Hudson
I
Heights.
think we're aware of that because, you know, Brian attends the steering meetings, but I just want to ensure, and I think it was something Brian and I have spoken about before, is we want to ensure that the plan that was accepted is really going to be the plan, and there's not an additional plan that pops up that includes Temple City, like one of the options did, where it would be on Rosemead Boulevard, which would be a total nightmare for us in Temple City. So I just hope that when those improvements are being planned, because it's not discussed, you know, every meeting that we have at the COG, that is communicated.
And let me reassure you, any implementation of any corridor that in the city of Temple City will be in consultation with the city council and city staff. As Martin mentioned, there will be some additional outreach in the coming months and the years ahead before this funding is realized. So we'll be doing some additional outreach in the communities, working closely with city staff. And the city definitely has, you know, it's the last say in terms of what goes into in terms of implementing any sort of corridor within their city limits.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
And that's actually it.
That was, thank you.
So
All right.
I appreciate you making some time.
Well,
Appreciate
thank you.
Ricky
Are
coming
there
in
any
and
questions, any
helping out.
further questions from council while we're here? Go ahead, Councilmember Mann.
You mentioned the Alameda Corridor East projects, Montebello and Turnbull are the final two.
They are.
Is there any plans for future grade separations? I don't know if it would exist within the Alameda Corridor East or...
You want to take it? Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Sure. Councilmember Mann, I'm back. So with regards to your question about grade separation projects, we're really fortunate that we're near the tail end of finishing our 19 grade separations. We are exploring what we're calling ACE Phase 3, and we actually put in a grant application just last week, actually, with the US DOT. Hopefully, we're going to fingers crossed that we'll get good news next year. We're going to explore 4 additional grade crossings for safety improvements in the City Industry and Diamond Bar.
And where, I'm sorry?
City Industry and Diamond Bar.
Diamond Bar, okay.
Yeah, I only ask because we have one right at the border of us and Rosemead on Lower Azusa. And I think my understanding was during the last go-around, we missed that. Or we as a previous council decided not to be a part of that program. So I'm not saying, I'm only speaking for myself here, but I think it's worth asking if there are future opportunities to do grade separation that our area, it would be in conjunction with Rosemead, I presume. There are 2 crossings. Literally, it's a very odd configuration.
Yeah.
Are you talking about
Lower Azusa and
east of
Encinitas.
Rosemead? Between Encinitas and Rosemead Boulevard? Is that the one?
It
Is that the area
is,
you're
it
talking
is
about?
east of Encinita.
Yeah.
There's one
And
cross.
Lower Azusa.
Yeah,
There's one crossing from across Encinita, and there's one across Lower Azusa. It kind of goes
Right,
diagonal.
Yeah, diagonally.
Yeah,
I know, I
so-
was caught there for about a half an hour a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was
'Cause-
very disturbing.
Yeah, because all if you look at that corridor, Alhambra already had it underground. San Gabriel did all their grade separations within the last 8 years or so. And then ours is the only one at grade. You go to El Monte at Baldwin, that's a grade separation.
And that same track goes over Rosemead Boulevard.
And that's all, yes,
That's a great
exactly.
separation.
And that's a great separation.
And all of those were in.
They were studied?
Studied in the
Yeah.
designated plan, that when these projects were finished, that would be when ACE basically
And
disappeared and was regenerated, let's say. So I think that could definitely be an option that we could, go to the COG and say, please consider us for that.
It's the one kind of weird outlier along the entire track going from Alhambra all the way to the rest. Because you look at all the ones like Turnbull, Fullerton, Fairway, Nogales, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. And for anyone who's lived there, my wife used to live in Walnut, and so she could tell you what a nightmare it was at Fairway, trying to wait for the train and all the traffic it caused. And I think we get our share of complaints every once in a while from our residents about us being the only at-grade crossing in this entire area. So.
And COG is excellent in reaching out to the legislators to get funding, and going to Washington. When I would go to Washington on behalf of the COG, that's what we did. We went to lobby for money to come to be able to do things like this. And I know that our current president and the others on the executive committee work hard to go and lobby, and we'll just have to see how much money comes from federal government for transportation. We've been very fortunate this past 4 years to get funding from the government. So, but anyway, I appreciate so much the work that you gentlemen do.
And just wanted to clarify, I think if I can't remember exactly is it Temple City Boulevard, the crossing there?
It's Lower Azusa.
Lower Azusa.
Yeah.
And it's by the Home Depot, I think.
Yeah, well.
It's, where, it's east of Rosemead High School.
I can't recall exactly, there's a number of reasons why we may not have looked into it further. I think when we had put the program together, we prioritized the ones that were based on a number of things. Vehicle counts, a number of accidents, things of that nature. There could be impediments in terms of, the topography or whatever that, might not be able to overcome. So those are some things that we always have to consider and keep in mind, and also the potential of right-of-way impacts. You want to obviously minimize the property acquisition along the railroad tracks there, so we kind of take that into consideration as well. But I know that after last year's council presentation we made, we did follow up with staff. I can't recall what exactly the conversations were, but we could do additional round of meetings with your staff to explore the opportunity further and report back.
We would appreciate that. Thank you.
Most of the complaints that I hear from that area are of course, the sound and the horns.
The horns, yeah.
They've asked us in fact before to look into having a quiet zone there, and of course there are legal issues that go with that as well. So, but yeah, that would be a primary, I think, for something like that. So, okay, well,
I just want one more question. I just want to thank Mr. Medrano for the presentation, Ricky for outstanding work behind the scenes. I know with regional planning, a lot goes behind the scenes, and I know Councilmember Sternquist, when she was the president of the organization, certainly a lot of work goes into that. You talked about earlier about the rapid transit. Is that a bus rapid transit, like a BRT system? Yeah. Just for the public, I know you briefly talk about, Rosemead Boulevard has been like the pride and joy of this city in the last decade, but can you just briefly talk about what BRTs are and what as I think,
sure.
And what the proposals are and for the different routes that Metro's looking at?
In layman's terms, BRT is really dedicated bus lanes along corridor to improve the efficiency and mobility of bus transit, right? We had met with City of Rosemead staff, in lead up and during our feasibility study a couple years ago, and it was very clear that the city did not want dedicated bus lanes along Rosemead because of the improvements that you guys already made along Rosemead Boulevard.
Are you talking about the city of Rosemead or the
City of Temple City.
Okay.
Rosemead Boulevard into City of Temple City.
Right, I don't know where you would put a dedicated bus lane on Rosemead Boulevard, to be honest with you.
There's obviously.
Maybe we take over the bike lane.
So it's sensitive to what the city's desires are. There is currently no plans, at least in the city of Temple City, for dedicated bus lanes, but it is designated as a what's called a rapid bus corridor. And so what is planned for Rosemead Boulevard are essentially transit signal priority improvements along the corridor. That could be transit signal priority improvements at key signals to kind of allow the buses to pass or extend the light, 10 seconds or whatever it is to allow a bus to pass. Those are the kind of improvements, but not necessarily improvements that would require taking of a lane of any sort at this point in time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Medrano. The rest of you guys, did you want to introduce your other cohort here? Or?
Sure.
Give her a shout out at least. You came.
Yanine Rivera was also with the Council of Governments.
Thank you for coming
Capital
today.
Projects Department. And of course, thank you so much to Councilmember Sternquist for your leadership on the council. You were prior president before. And thank you all for...
well, thank you for coming, and we look forward to that report next year, and hopefully we'll have some of these things answered.
Great. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Okay. We will now move on to item C. We have another report, this time from the Los Angeles County Sanitation District. He's going to be giving us an update on the proposed sewer rehabilitation on Santa Anita Avenue. With us this evening, we have construction manager for the district, Samir Suleiman, and a project manager, Mark Weber. So thank you, gentlemen, for being here. And Mr. Suleiman, we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. Again, like Mayor said, my name is Samir Suleiman. I'll be the construction manager for this project, District 17 Sewer Group 1 Rehab. Not too long ago, I think most of you, if not everyone, have seen similar presentation when we did the GOP number 2, again with the same team, same contractor. With
Mr. Suleiman, if you don't mind lifting that microphone up a little bit, it seems that, yeah, maybe it'll improve. It's hard to hear, but
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next slide, please. During this presentation, please feel free to stop me if you have any questions or concern during the presentation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm not.
Thank you, Don.
No, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay.
I can't see that far, so I couldn't tell you.
No, no problem. The district mission is to protect public health and the environment through innovative and cost-effective wastewater and solid waste management. In doing so, the district converts waste into resources such as recycled water, energy, and recycled material. Next slide, please. LA County San covers a large area of the Los Angeles County, all shown in the green on the map. The main wastewater treatment plant is located in Carson, and there are about 10 water reclamation plants throughout the county. Next slide, please. The district averages about 30 rehab projects per year with a total budget of about $100 million per year. And they anticipate this to go for at least the next 20 years or so. Next, please. This short video that will play shows the cured-in-place CIPP technology that will be utilized in repairing those sewer lines.
CIPP is a method used to replace a deteriorated underground pipe without digging it up. In the simplest terms, it is a pipe within a pipe. Here's how it works. A tube made of polyester felt or fiberglass, designed to the appropriate thickness and length for the application, is saturated with resin. This is also referred to as the wet-out process. The resin-saturated tube is then installed into the existing deteriorated pipe by inverting the tube into position using water or air pressure, or by pulling the tube into place and inflating it. Once in place, the tube is cured or hardened under pressure by using either heat in the form of hot water or
Let's cut short a little bit.
CIP.
Thank you. Next slide.
CIPP is a method used to replace a deteriorated underground pipe without digging it up. In the simplest terms, it is a pipe within a pipe. Here's how it works. A tube made of polyester felt or fiberglass, designed to the appropriate thickness and length for the application, is saturated with resin. This is also referred to as the wet-out process. The resin-saturated tube is then installed into the existing deteriorated pipe by inverting the tube into position using water or air pressure, or by pulling the tube into place and inflating it. Once in place, the tube is cured or hardened under pressure by using either heat in the form of hot water or...
Seems we have a computer
Yeah,
glitch.
apologies. The
That's
video
okay.
get cut a little bit at the very last few seconds. So if you can just go to the
I have a
next
question though.
Sure.
So how many times can you actually do this in any one pipe? And how often do you have to do this?
For
To put this inflatable resin
Yeah,
thing?
this CIPP is, it's a new technology that was, invented or came out about 15, 20 years ago. It supposedly gives another 50 to 60 years
Oh,
of
okay.
life for any
So-
sewer reach.
So I won't be around to see the next one, so.
Hopefully you would.
Okay, so that answers that question. So it's got a good shelf life.
Yeah,
basically.
it's like brand new pipe almost.
Now, of course, I don't know whether they determine, but let's say after those 50 years, do they do the same procedure again, or do they have to replace the whole pipe at that time?
Well, we'll let the next generation find that out.
Well, okay, go ahead.
If you don't mind, yeah.
Yeah, I think Mr. Weber might have an answer to that.
No, you're fine.
Oh.
You actually can reline the pipes. It really comes down to how much inner diameter or thickness you're putting in on each go. You obviously want to maintain hydraulic capacity in the sense of maintaining the biggest opening that you can.
Yeah, that's a question I had, because obviously when you put something in the pipe, it's going to affect the flow and how fast it goes through and stuff too, I would imagine.
Exactly. And so I can't dive all the way into all of the scientific aspect of it because I'm not wasn't part of like the ASTM creation, but I know that the friction coefficient on the CIPP is much better than any of the existing material that's in there, whether it's clay or concrete. So you do have you have a reduced pipe, but you also have a pipe that's, for lack of a better term, slicker. So it does move more of the sewage faster.
I see.
Yeah, and more efficiently. We've relined existing pipes from other cities and other contractors before. So you can do it once, twice. It really comes down to then how thick you go each time.
Right, okay, good.
I recall that we saw something similar, but was it from sanitation district? Remember we had, it was, oh, okay.
Sanitation.
Yeah, they came and explained how they cut, because I was relating it to new scientific technology for people who have Crohn's disease. Instead of continuing to cut the intestine, they do something very similar. Now they put a stent in it. And so I thought, well, I think we heard something similar
Wait,
before.
we're talking about intestines now? We went from sewage to intestines?
Sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
This is the bigger
Analogy,
version of it.
good analogy.
Yeah, that's a bigger version.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Is there a minimum diameter before you can use this, or a maximum
it's really
diameter?
used for 8-inch all the way up to 40-inch or even larger size diameter.
Yeah, anything really in this area. Our company, in fact, we've done 54-inch as the largest, but there's some of the big like multinational companies, or even the company who originated the technology. They've done, I think, 108 inches.
Wow.
As far as that, obviously, then you're moving into like stormwater applications at that point, or water applications.
Okay, thanks.
I have a simple, perhaps technical question. How do you deal with laterals once you put that in?
We have a little tiny robot with a camera on it that you
Go
you
back
track her
in
into
and open
place.
up the...
Yeah, exactly. So you mark the laterals beforehand, and then also because you're installing under pressure, it'll actually dimple in those lateral areas as well.
That's
so
true,
you have
that's true.
a visual check as well. as a measured one.
Go ahead.
The CIPP varies in thickness from about 7.5 millimeters to about 10.5 millimeters. So it's not really greatly affecting the capacity of those sewer pipes. So I would imagine, you know, they can redo them in 50 years or 60 years using the same technology, unless they come out with a better methods of rehabbing these sewers, you know. A project team, the owner of this project are the LA County Sanitation District. Matthew Watson, I believe he gave the last presentation as the supervising engineer with the county. And Sharuz Sultani is the project engineer. The designer of the project is AECOM with Louis Leon as the project manager. Construction management is done by IEM, which is myself. I work for IEM, presenting the county for this project. And again, Mark Wepper as the contractor with Sanco.
What's the total cost of this project?
Oh, it's about 3.1 million.
Okay.
And I think next slide, I might show it on the one after. Yeah, this slide. As a summary of this project, existing sewer pipes are to be rehabbed, again, using the cured-in-place liner. About 11,817 linear feet will be rehabbed. That's for the overall total of the project. There are about 47 reaches, but with this, for the city of Temple City, about 20 reaches will be rehabbed with a length of about 3,400 linear feet. You know, again, 41 manholes will be rehabbed for the whole projects with a protective coating system. I think 14 manholes will be located in Temple City.
What will be the biggest impact to the households during the construction?
It's a minimum impact. It's going to be in a daily impact because it's, as I will explain later, it's going to be a moving pipe pass when those reaches will be rehabbed, and we'll go over this in a second. You know.
It's a similar process that we're going through right now with the other projects that have been going through town in the last about 2 to 3 months.
Correct. Again, there's about 88 households that will be affected along the route. The reason we used rehab again over replacement is because replacing the sewer will be much more destructive to the community and will be a lot more costly, you know. Again, the construction cost for this project will be about 3.1 million. Next slide, please. Again, this slide shows the project alignment. It goes in Temple City mainly along Santa Anita Avenue, from Grand Avenue to just south of Oak Avenue. Next slide.
So it would affect, I'm sorry, households on both sides of Santa Anita or just one side?
No, both sides.
Both sides.
Yes. A project schedule, I'll go over this real fast. Project is projected to start in mid-October with no service interruptions for manhole rehabs and the preliminary CCTV and sewer cleaning. Businesses and residents along the route will be notified ahead of time of the cleaning. In early November 24, we'll begin temporary service interruption. The temporary sewer clean-out are installed as required with no service interruption.
I don't see anything here where the service is going to be interrupted. Is that correct? Or will there be some?
Not.
You say it says beginning of temporary service interruptions, but then it says, I guess as required, no service interruptions. Where would the interruptions occur?
It will start once
the bypass?
They start putting the bypass and the CIPP is installed.
And how long would a typical service interruption be? Does that mean they can't flush their toilets for a certain amount of time?
It will be average. Next slide will show a timeline of
Sorry, I keep getting ahead of myself.
No,
I should just let you go.
But it's about 8 hours of process in just in general. And if they do 1 or 2 flushes of the bathroom. I don't think that will be an issue, but I don't think they can take showers or run the lawn.
But they'll all be notified of these
They'll all
things.
be
Yeah,
notified,
okay.
indeed, yes, you know. And again, for this project, the anticipated CIPP lining will be about 8 installs with temporary bypass, and the remaining manholes rehab will be completed after the CIPP is installed. Mid-December, we should be pretty much doing a final restoration and a punch list to complete this project. Next slide, please. This is an example of a typical bypass layout. It's going to be a moving bypass. Again, we could do one or more reaches for the bypass. Next slide, please. This is a typical operation of the CIPP installation. To your left-hand side, you'll see the truck having the CIPP material that will be rolled into the manhole and dragged all the way to the next manhole downstream. And the picture to the right shows steamers where they're used to cure this CIPP pipe. Curing time is about 2 to 3 hours usually. Next slide.
Actually, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I was, again, like the mayor, I was ahead of myself because you're showing not a picture right now of the bypass.
I just had a real quick question. It appears that when you're doing this project, there will still be traffic flow in Santa Anita, maybe down to 1 lane in each direction.
We have traffic control.
So it's not going to be stopped at any one time?
No,
Okay,
not
good.
at all, you know.
We can't make left turns.
Yeah, no left turns probably, yeah.
This is, again, typical setup of a bypass showing the pumps that will be used, you know, to pump the sewers, to bypass it, to be able to.
I'm sorry, Brian, is this the same thing they've been doing up above on Temple City Boulevard in the county area and then down in Sanita, I believe?
Past the school.
Below Oak, yeah. So that's what this is? Okay.
If I can jump
Yeah,
in.
go ahead.
Just for comparison's sake, this particular project will be a much smaller footprint
Than those other ones?
Than the other ones where you have the big hard, and it kind of goes with this slide. Unfortunately, the district didn't update this particular one. This bypass is completely overkill and different than the bypass that we're going to be using on this particular project. Rubber lay flat hose basically set up and broken down each day, so there won't be anything out overnight. In a similar vein like there is right now running down.
Right, yeah, they're out there for a while on the street, yeah.
So you meant the bypass will be there and broken down at night? So.
Exactly. Yes, we'll set traffic, set bypass, do the pre-cleaning, do our lining, cure the pipe, you know, cut the ends, do the post-video, break it all down, and then.
You do that during the day, so the traffic interruption is actually during the day?
Correct, yeah. 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. is our typical working hours, so those would be the hours we would be doing.
But maybe I'm ahead of myself again for the question, but unlike the other sewer installation, this is Santa Anita, there's a lot of traffic, pretty high traffic volume there. So what are you doing to perhaps help with the traffic? You coordinating with anybody to help the traffic flow?
I mean, we will, due to the sewer alignment, we do have to take a lane in each direction on Santa Anita, the number 1 lane in each direction. So yeah, the outer lane will still be maintained in each direction. But when it comes to anything that may be crossings, you know, from some of the side streets, we do have basically traffic rated ramps that for our sewer bypass that we lay out and they can drive over. They're rated for 50 miles an hour. So a 3-inch hose lays in them completely and they're able to drive over them just to maintain, you know, ease of access for residents in and out of their areas.
And then for the encouragement permit, as we've done with the other projects with the sanitation district, the traffic plan will be laid out. Our Trans Tech team and inspectors will go out when there's issues or things happen in the field. Sometimes there's been things that have happened in the current project that's happened in the field that we've had to make adjustments for as well. So the team will be out there.
Yeah, this one is actually the boundary between the city and the county, so
yes.
I'm not sure Or is county or city that you're actually doing the work?
It's right on the border. So so on the eastern end of Santa Anita, that's right. But we own curb to curb. Unfortunately,
we own curb to curb.
We
Oh,
own
so it's
curb to
ours.
curb. So the curb to curb is ours, even
Okay,
though the
so
other
it's
side is
all
the county's.
on our property. Yep.
Yeah, we'll have 4 permits total for this work, just your permit, the county's permit, because we will be setting traffic, I believe, interrupting some of their stuff, and then Arcadia, we have 4 cones in it, and El Monte, we have like 6 or 7, so,
Wow.
to
Okay.
make sure we maintain the tapers, so we're getting all those permits.
So these pipes actually stay there until you're done with the work, right?
The one in our current job that we're working on Encinita, they do. For this project that we're talking about, they're set up and broken down each day.
Oh,
because
interesting.
they're much smaller. We're doing 21-inch pipe and 24-inch sewer on Encinita, and these are going to be 10-inch sewer mains with very minimal flow.
Okay.
In theory, you could actually plug, hold, and monitor them, and it'd be fine. But we're going to put a 3-inch bypass hose up and break it down each day.
Yeah, just 3-inch bypass. Wow.
Yeah, just 3-inch. Yeah, there's only about 80 gallons per minute going through these pipes, so very, very minimal.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you. Go next slide, please. Now, these are shown, again, these are similar to the job that currently going on with the HDPE pipes. They're rather much larger than the 3-inch flat, that's gonna be used in this project. So, next slide, please. These are a typical setup for portable toilets that will be placed when and if needed or requested. Any residents that will ask for them will eventually get one. Like we said, it's going to be minimum interruptions. It's about 8 hours for the whole day, and we'll go over the schedule.
So residents would have the option of asking for them?
If a resident would...
But it's not like everybody will get one, it's only if they ask.
Only if they ask, correct. Next slide, please. These are typical temporary clean out. They're mainly installed for businesses or apartment units that have 6 or more units involved. Next slide. This is a typical setup for manhole rehab where they spray CAC coating or unapproved coating to rehab the manholes. Next. As far as outreach, residents will be issued notices via door hangers at least 14 days, again 7 days and 24 hours in advance of work. The typical service, this is what we were talking about for interruptions. It's going to be around between 8 and 4 p.m. 8 a.m. will be a bypass and testing of the bypass. 9 o'clock, they'll be cleaning the sewers and perform pre-lining CCTV inspection. And then an hour after that, they'll be installing the CIPP liner. Like I said, it takes 2 to 3 hours to cure the CIPP liner. And once that's completed, they'll go ahead and reinstall all the laterals along that reach and perform a post-CCTV.
So the only ones that will actually be affected are the residents on Santa Anita, none of the peripheral streets?
Correct, correct. That literally have house connections into that particular reach, And again, residents should just refrain from discharging large quantities of water down the drain.
No half-hour showers during that time, I'm assuming, right?
Yes. You'll be surprised what people do. Mark deals with that a lot more than I do.
They call immediately when that happens.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And again, portable toilets and hand washing stations will be made available to residents during the work.
So question is that, so they get door hangers 14/7 days and 24 hours. You don't mail them anything?
No, mailing, we don't usually do the mailing. No.
I wouldn't trust the mail either. May not get there if they mail it.
Are the door hangers only in English?
Oh, they're both in
right there.
Spanish and English.
Oh,
This
I
is a
just-
door hanger?
This is, yeah.
Oh,
This is a
that's the door
typical public flyer that the district puts out before even the sewer cleaning
Are
starts.
they only in English and Spanish, or are they in other
They're
languages?
only in English and Spanish. It's
Okay, because we
double-sided.
probably have a few non-English speaking people on Santa Anita that don't speak either of those two languages.
Yeah, but I don't know what's the third common language we can,
Well,
I mean,
don't we
what's-
usually, don't
We'll
we
work,
publish
we'll work
things?
with the sanitation district to provide some in Chinese as well.
Chinese, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and we'll talk with them in the permitting process
All
as
right,
well.
Thank you.
okay, thank you. With that, I don't know if any questions or?
Okay, well, we've been asking a lot of questions. Are there any other additional questions? You've been very, very informative. Thank you. Any questions from council?
Just a
Go ahead.
comment. I'm so glad you're here because as District 15 representative, I know this is District 17, but what part of the, what cities are in District 17?
Gosh, I can't.
Put 'em on
answer
spot.
that.
It's in District,
And it's in District 17, but I don't know exactly the limits of District 17.
but anyway, I just want to
and
say
how
I'm
far they go.
happy you're doing this because I wouldn't have had a clue how to explain all of this, so
The
thank you.
District have a lot of districts that I'm not very familiar with.
Yeah.
Or their
Well,
their limits.
I represent District 15, and it said 17, so I didn't know if it was a combination of both those districts that it's going through.
I know the district could split districts within the same city.
Okay,
You
so
know,
that's
so,
probably
yeah, that's
what,
probably
okay.
Yeah.
I was just a little
Sure, no
confused with
problem.
that.
My pleasure.
Or else I've been voting on the wrong district for many meetings.
They call your name.
Well, thank you for
Okay.
coming. Now, are there any more work like this planned in our area besides this one?
I'm sure there will be. I can't give you an exact number of projects or when they will be utilized or advertised to be
Mayor
bid.
Pro Tem, Michael Lloyd from TransTech can talk to, he's been working with the sanitation district, so if you wouldn't mind if I let Michael.
Sure, go ahead,
Yeah.
Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Staff is currently working with the district for an upcoming project along Lower Azusa. So we're working through the details on timing and scope of work, but there is another project on its way coming to the city. We're trying to work with, and the district's working with us. We're trying to nail down the timing. So if we could hit a time frame where school's out of session and that's when the work is done, that would be ideal. So all parties, including the contractor, are trying to meet and figure out when's the best time to move the project forward, but there is another one coming.
Oh, that's great.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Suleiman, Mr. Weber, for your presentation this evening, and I'm sure if there's anything in the future, we'll hear from you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your work, and good luck.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. Okay. Well, that was a long, what was it? That's our ceremonial manners, President? That was the longest one we've had in a long time. Okay. Well, we're finally up to item number 6, public comments. And Don, thank you for waiting patiently there, and it's now your turn.
It was very informative, though.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
First of all, I'm excited to spend more time with our foreign exchange students from Australia because Donna Giorgino and I are taking them on Thursday. We're going to Emperor Elementary School and to the Academy Museum, which I've never been to, so I'm very excited to be going.
Is
So
that the movie academy?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
nice.
across the street from the Peterson Automotive Museum.
wow.
It's got
Oh.
Oscars and costumes and all kinds of
I
stuff.
have pictures if you want to see it. It's
Oh,
pretty cool.
I went online to the website. But putting on my other hat, with regards to the Camellia Festival, we had our kickoff event on September 7th. Our general chairman this year is Matt Byers, and he was really excited to announce his grand marshal, which is, if anybody knows Matt, he is our musical person for the school district, and the Temple City Unified School District is celebrating 60 years of the musical program this year. So representing that will be Roger Lockey, who was the very first director, and Elias Borjali, who's the current producer. So We're going to have all kinds of stuff celebrating the 60 years of the musical program for as our Grand Marshal. And the honorary Grand Marshal is Mike Tomasulo, who has been involved in lots of things at the high school with regards to the athletic program, and I'm looking forward to actually learning more about that as time goes on. The theme this year is music, so we're going to be celebrating music, and we're going to be rounding out our dignitaries with our Royal Court of First Graders. The Royal Court Playday Contest applications are online now, so if anybody has a first grader, knows a first grader who lives in Temple City or within the boundaries of the Temple City Unified School District, they're eligible to be on the Royal Court. So I would encourage anybody who's interested, please go to CameliaFestival.org or make sure to let your friends and neighbors know. The deadline is October 28th, and Playday Contest is on November 2nd. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, any other public comments? Jerry, anything no? In the back, anything you'd like to say? No? Thank you. All right, well, I will close public comments. We will now move on to the consent calendar. All consent calendar items may be approved in a single motion as recommended unless removed for further discussion. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Second, we have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, if we could have roll call, please.
Councilmember Chen?
Yes.
Councilmember Mann?
Yes.
Councilmember Sternquist?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Yoon?
Yes.
Mayor Chavez?
Yes. Okay, we'll now move on to public hearing. There is none. Unfinished business, none. New business, none. Next, we will hear an update from our city manager, Mr. Cook.
Thank you, Mayor Chavez and members of the council. Just a couple brief updates. Our Las Tunas improvement project that you're seeing, you're starting to see the LED lights being installed, both all the ones at the intersections, the Cobra headlights, and our decorative lights as well. I just walked it a little while ago before the council meeting. Things are starting to come together very nicely. And if you walked up and down, it's not only a aesthetic improvement, but also a safety improvement as well, with the lighting that really beams down nicely on the sidewalk as well. So thank you for that funding to make that project happen. We are not building a second story on City Hall. We are tenting it in anticipation of potentially some rains that could come and some other aspects, as the other part of the roof of City Hall is a little bit more complicated, and along with the HVAC systems that we are installing as well is a little bit more complicated, so it's going to take a little bit more time as well. So, but we are not building a second story to City Hall. We're just making sure that we are making the investment that we're making in the roof doesn't go down the drain with rain. To use a crude analogy. Also, too, just a reminder, Civic Center will also be closed down at the end of this week as well, and we will be having our meetings next door at the library's community reading room for the next about month and a half. Again, we're closing down this building completely because of some of the complications with the retrofitting and everything else that this building will have to endure over the next months, and to get a new roof and some minor retrofitting we need to do. And then thank you on the consent calendar night was the demolition authorization for me to release an RFP, or release a bid and approve a contract for 5003 Serrano's demolition to start the process to outreach with the community of how to reimagine that space on that corner of 5003 Serrano. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. My understanding that our welcome monument at Baldwin has already been disrupted.
Unfortunately, yes, there was an accident that hit two of the bollards. Our sister city across the street, Arcadia, is working on replacing those bollards.
So are they on the Acadia side or the Temple City side?
The whole thing is actually in Arcadia. So,
okay. So is that on their dime or our dime?
That will be. They went above and beyond with several of the improvements that they did. So that'll be on them to improve. But they've cleaned it up. But they'll be working on replacing the bollards at some point.
That's too bad. All right. Well, good.
Fortunately, the bollards were there, and they did what they're supposed to do, right? And they didn't destroy another sign, so we were good.
Good. All right, thank you, Mr. Murphy. Any update from our city attorney?
Yes, with the legislative session over and the governor finally having made decisions on signing or vetoing bills, we'll be putting together a legislative update And instead of just trickling it out at meetings, which I will still do to highlight things for the public, we'll be sending the update to the city council in addition to the city manager, as we've done in years past. So you will get an update memo from me at some point in the next week or two. Thank you.
Yeah, he hasn't been a very popular person the last.
Not the last couple of weeks, no, sir.
No, okay. All right, thank you. All right, we'll now move on to item 13, council reports regarding ad hoc or standing committee meetings. Are there any reports?
I have a question.
Yes.
Brian, when are we going to have the information coming back to the ad hoc committee?
For
the
old chamber
site.
site.
Oh, the chamber site.
Believe we have a scheduled date
Is that you?
for, we have a scheduled date. I will find it. I will find what that date is.
Well, you can just let them know.
I'll let
And
them
send
know.
it to us so
Yep.
we can put in our calendars.
Good, okay. All right, if there are no more reports, we will now move on to item 14, council items separate from the city manager's regular agenda. I'll start with Councilmember Chen.
Yes,
I always
Mr.
start
Mayor.
with you. I got to start with someone else once in a while.
Yeah,
All right,
mix it up.
next meeting, we'll mix it up.
I just have one quick update to provide, and that is several months ago, there was a call for a nomination for the Metro San Gabriel Valley service sector, and I thank my council colleagues, especially Councilmember Sternquist, for the early guidance, who's very knowledgeable about regional infrastructure and transportation issues. I put my name through, and I have some happy updates to report. The Big Metro Board last Thursday approved our nomination. So I want to thank the cities of Arcadia and Omani for placing their trust. We are part of a cluster, the 3 cities that will be on this San Gabriel Valley service sector. It will be to help advise the Big Metro Board on issues such as bus line performances, and in my personal opinion, I think public safety issues that are important on the Metro line, as we've seen so often in the news. I hear that the sheriff's captains do attend those meetings frequently to hear from the advisory board members. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I hope that I can represent Temple City's interests in these regional planning discussions. And again, I want to thank the mayor, my council colleagues for your support.
Thank you, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good luck. How often do they meet?
Monthly.
Once a month, okay, that's manageable.
Yes.
Good. All right, well, good luck, and we wish you the best, and if there's anything else we can do, let us know.
Thank you.
Good job. All right, Councilmember Mann, anything?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Chavez. I just want to, since the city manager mentioned the Sereno property, we did have a chamber legislative lunch with Assembly Member Mike Fong, who was the guest speaker, and maybe I'm stealing part of your update, but I'm glad you brought it up and asked him and reminded him about the conversations we've been having with the Assembly member on helping us potentially develop this space. So that was great. He also shared, Assemblymember Fong has always been very supportive of us, of our events, so it was great to see him at Cloverleaf Bakery. And he did, have a lot of updates regarding sort of the educational programs like the career fairs, school fairs, and for those of you who may recall, he did his first one at Temple City High School. I think that was last year?
Very good.
Last year, I think.
Yeah, it was well attended from what I recall. So that was great. Also, shout out to our Parks and Rec and also the school district for a successful fall festival and also the classic car show. And the more I see our events at Temple City Park, the more I appreciate what we did with the playground equipment. Because this idea that it kind of blends in but still is a very active space was kind of like a neat touch. It doesn't take away from the rest of the space, but still allows it to be kind of a spot where all the young kids like to play. Especially my sons love it too. So that was very good to see. I do have I guess kind of a question / comment. I know we did some, I guess, heavier traffic enforcement recently through the sheriffs. Could you share a little bit about that experience from the city's perspective?
Sure, no problem, Councilmember Mann. Last Friday, we had been working with the Office of Traffic Safety and as well, and
Office of Traffic Safety
for LA County Sheriff.
LA
So
County.
countywide, that is their countywide program with special units. In this case, we had 6 motors out for about 5.5 hours, issued 40 citations. Almost the vast majority of those were for speeding and hazardous speeds, very few for left turns, improper left turns or anything else. So that is a specialty unit we worked out with in our dedicated team, coordinated with them along with the captain.
Was this in a particular area? Or
So
all
they
through the
concentrated mostly on Temple City Boulevard. Temple City Boulevard was their largest concentration.
That's Temple City Boulevard and what?
Temple City Boulevard in Longdon, and where else? In Las Tunas as well. So they were out. They're a specialty team that goes out throughout the county of Los Angeles, so it takes some time to schedule with them. We are looking to schedule again for the OTS team to go out, and along with our traffic teams, our traffic deputies as well. We will not announce the location or the locations that we will be going out for, but this was scheduled. There was a little bit of scheduling timing wise, so that we didn't send out any press release beforehand that OTS would be out. Next time we will. We just won't disclose the locations that they will be targeting as well. But we're hoping to do at least 1, if not 2 more operations before the end of the year. Thank you for mentioning that, Councilmember
Do we
Mann.
know if most of the persons who were cited are Temple City residents or from outside the city? Or do
We'll
we keep track of that?
I'll ask. We'll follow up with the team to look at the citations to see that we don't have that information right now, but we can look and see. We did do a blast on social media as well, letting people know about the operation. We'll let them know when OTS is out again, and we'll hopefully we'll see. But we can see what we can do. If we can't track down that information for this time, we'll try to track it down for the next operations.
So a bit of a tongue-in-cheek question, but do these citations count towards the statistics that we
That they do.
Okay. All right.
So you'll see them in, so to your point, Councilmember Mann, you'll see them in the monthly and to our overall rating as well. They will actually help us with our overall state rating as well.
Okay, thank you. And
Thank you.
Just one other kind of separate question. I know we've rolled out some of the furniture grants for restaurants on Las Tunas as well as other things. Any kind of update as to how that's been received, or
I believe there are 3 that are permitted so far. They should be rolling out in the next couple weeks.
3.
So
Okay.
three permitted, fully permitted so far.
Okay, I asked because I haven't seen any
Yeah.
along Las Tunas, so I was wondering if it's just been a dud, or
the awnings have been a challenge in terms of the program, and we'll come back to you with that as well. There's a little more interest in there's a little more interest in the street cafe furniture, but there's 3 that are permitted right now, which you should be seeing rolling out in the next couple weeks.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's
Thank
all I
you.
have.
Thank you. Councilmember Sternquist?
Just a couple of things. Speaking about Mike Fong, I got an invitation today that he is going out to Foothill Transit's Pomona yard to see the hydrogen fuel cell buses and infrastructure that was put in place, the fueling system. So I am going to go, and I am going to be as persistent as I was with Catherine and Michael Antonovich about securing some funding.
It's my understanding that they don't have money to give, like other government agencies. Is that a waste of time?
Well,
I don't understand. I've never understood that an assembly member has money to give.
So Mike Fong gave a check to Jessica Ancona from the city of El Monte, the mayor.
I don't know who she is.
She's the mayor of El Monte.
All right.
Presented it for $500,000
But where did that check come from?
from his funds, discretionary
He has
funding.
discretionary funds like that?
He has the ability to go, once a year, he goes to DC and he's able to fund, I believe it's 5 or 6 major projects that people come to him with. It could be a myriad of different types of.
Why did they get 500,000?
Well, it was interesting because, I'm happy you asked. Jessica Ancona is on my Facebook page, and I saw her holding a giant check like we did for the library. So of course it caught my attention, and as I read it, it said this is presented to the city of El Monte because they are an underserved park area. Now they have more parks than the city of Temple City.
They are an underserved park area?
According to statistics.
What definition that is?
For the amount of people and the amount of park space. So this park had been pretty much in need of a lot of repair. And so it went on, and everything that they listed, we could have put 4 check marks by it. Right. So when I made an appointment to go and see him, I said, you know, I want to show you this lovely picture that I saw on Facebook. And I said, we check off every single box. And he said, well, really, I didn't really know that. So he took a look he went and drove by the property once we secured it and agreed that it was a great location. And at the luncheon, he shared that he really loves partnerships. And so I thought, what better way than to use the partnership that we did with the library as a catalyst for promoting some funding for this. So FaceTime is everything with these legislators. I mean, the more they see your face and the more persistent you are, and when they say, is there anything you need, and you just keep asking for it, it seems to be a reliable technique. So I'm going to go Wednesday and have some more FaceTime with him, and I will be persistent and keep at it. But so I'm excited about being able to see him again in more of a one-on-one capacity. And then I just want to say that the street signs look amazing on Las Tunas. I'm just like, they're shiny and they're black. They're not faded green. The street light poles. The posts. Yeah. Really looking nice. And one last thing, Brian. We need another trash can behind Crazy 99 cent store. Yeah, well, there's only one on that huge long strip from the bank to the corner on Temple City Boulevard, and what's the Taekwondo? They fill that up with pizza boxes, and so everything starts to unflow. And I was thinking it's just a good reminder to ask for more trash cans.
Do we pay for that? I thought that is the business owners that determine how many trash cans they get and stuff.
I have no clue.
I think you're referring to the public trash can.
Yes, the public trash can.
Private.
Public trash can?
There's only one on that huge long strip.
Like the same ones we see on.
So anybody can use that trash can?
Everybody uses that.
Yeah, it's a challenge. With our newer trash cans that we're gonna get, that you've seen, we probably will not see the level of.
Wait, are we talking about big trash bins, or are we talking about small trash?
You know the cement and yeah, there's only one on that huge long strip.
So why don't the businesses have their own trash?
They do. They're required to have service, and there's bins that are.
They're not using it.
Well, and not just, there's a lot of pedestrian activity up and down there, so it's a challenge.
It's a problem area that we need to take a look at. Sounds like.
Yeah, because if I recall, behind Crazy 99, they have the larger Athens bins.
Yeah,
I think there's at least 2 of them.
But people don't go throw their trash there. It's the.
Hopefully they keep those locked, because I know in Alhambra, if you have a big trash bin, most of them lock them so that other people can't come and use them. And I don't know whether or not our businesses are doing that.
They're locked.
They're paying for it.
They're locked, and each business
okay,
gets
the
key.
Be. That way nobody else can use it.
Maybe just a reminder for the places, the business places too, to, I mean, look at Crazy 99, obviously, that's a grand opening.
Crazy 99?
Yeah.
That's a real neat.
They could have taken one of their trash bags that they sold and filled up the rest of the trash that was all over the floor. But since it was the grand opening week or weekend, I thought it just looked a little terrible, dingy there to have all this trash on the floor, but they were pizza boxes and big liters of soda. So I'm sure a lot of it's coming from next door. Taekwondo, because there's kids and families, and they do get to sit and watch, and I've seen people eating there. And then you have a nail shop and beauty shop. I just think it's a dumping ground for everybody. But if we had more trash cans, it would be less
Well, either
visible.
we can have more trash cans or have more frequent pickups.
Yes.
That might be a
Who
better
picks up?
thing.
We
than-
do?
Our
Or
staff
Athens?
does. No, that's our staff.
Okay.
So, yeah, it doesn't have to be more trash cans. It could be just
Just-
more pickups.
Are you a chamber liaison?
I am, yes.
Has the chamber said anything about this Crazy 99? Are they a member yet, or has that even come up in the discussions yet? 'Cause I guess they're open, but they never had a grand opening, so to speak. But
I have not heard anything.
did it close like one day it was 99-cent store, the next day it was Crazy 99? They never really closed, or
I think
what?
it's Crazy 99 Plus.
Is that what it's
That's
called?
the actual name.
It looks exactly the same from the outside to me, as far as what's stacked in the windows and everything else.
It's cleaner.
Is it cleaner?
They
I
have
haven't been
new
in there yet. Have you
flooring
been
in
there?
it. It looks real nice.
A little neater, maybe?
It's relative. It's
I
all
think it looks
relative.
really nice.
Yeah,
It's clean.
Good, good. All
I
right.
need to
Hopefully
go-
they do well.
I need to go visit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Crazy 99, okay. Cool. All right, anything else, Councilmember?
That's it.
All right, Mayor Pro Tem, you?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to repeat, we had a great fall festival and classic car show. Thank you to Mr. Cook and his staff and a great Parks and Rec and staff. What's amazing was that I drove by it again like 6 o'clock the same day, and Stella made a comment, oh, it looked like nothing had ever happened here. I mean, I said, yeah, our staff was so good, they're so efficient in cleaning up. I mean, everything was back to normal by 6 o'clock. We
Yeah,
finished.
they do a good
So
job.
they really done a good job, so just want to comment on that. And the second comment I want to make was they're very, very happy about the Sereno property. We finally secured that. Took us a long, long time, and thank you, Council Member Sternquist, trying to get some funding for it. But irregardless, I mean, it's just exciting to see another park. We finished Primrose, and then now we have another one coming, and we're doing all the other refurbishment and modernization of the other two parks. So it's great. Very happy about that. Looking forward to it.
Maybe that's why people don't think we're Park 4 anymore.
Yeah,
We're
could
parks.
be.
I'm
Could be.
confident that Mike is gonna come up with some money for us. That's good. He likes to come through. He does a good job when he comes through.
I think we all should take
Maybe
turn.
we all take turns, going
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Well, we don't
going
want,
after
we
it.
don't want to be too much of pain, but squeaky wheel, right?
A little bit of a
Squeaky
pain.
wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
William's good.
yeah, all the same, I mean, big shout out, oh, I'm sorry, is that it?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it, Mr. Mayor.
So shout out, of course, to staff for, I selected the mayor's trophy, kind of a little biased because it was a Chevy Nova, which happened to be my first car.
Oh, really?
Okay, but it looked nothing like the one that was there, of course, but it was a beautiful car, and they did a good job, and, yeah, so.
What year?
It was a 66.
66.
Yeah, 66, I believe, yeah. It was very nice, but it was tough. I mean, they had a lot of nice cars there, so good job. Great weather, and of course, the school did a good job with their part of it too. Another good partnership. There was another event on Saturday. Councilmember Chen and I were at the Relay for Life. Chinese South is what they called it, actually, at Live Oak Park. City Manager Cook and I went over there for the beginning and kind of welcomed everybody, and Councilmember Chen showed up. So it was a nice event. It was a little different from what we're used to as far as the Relay for Life. So it was all indoors, inside the Live Oak annex there, or not annex, but
So they didn't walk the path?
No,
outside?
I don't think they walked the path at all. Everything was indoors, so it was a little bit different, but it sounded like it went off well and no complaints, so. One last thing, was it that day? No, when was it? Oh, when was I over at the park? Monday. And I happened to walk into the lunch program. If you guys haven't been to the lunch program yet,
Not
that
lately.
place is packed. I mean, more people than I can ever remember that actually go and get the free lunch, and they're all sitting around having a good time, talking, tables, everything. So I got a chance to talk to some of the people there, and they were very thankful and seem to be running good. So I think Chris is in charge of that, isn't he? Or Ruby. Oh, Ruby is. So good shout out to them. They seem to do a good job. And I told them once they have another event, I know Councilmember Sternquist, we've attended those special events sometimes. So I told them to let us know when they have a special event. We can all go and
They have
anybody.
a prom.
They have a prom. Oh, okay. I don't know if I'm going to go prom, but I have to get a new suit. But yeah, that's interesting. Okay, but I think the next one is for Thanksgiving. But anyway, a lot of good things happening as we can all attest to. So good job by everybody. All right, that's it for me. So we will now move on to last item, additional public comments. Jerry, anything you want to say? Okay, hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you.